Welcome, welcome, welcome. What an honor it is to be the first speaker of this incredible summit, or non summit, as we want to call it. No, not just a summit, it's a movement, the Shift Collective. Collective because we, the founders, and we said just on the video before, we are here together to share, grow, and transform, always united. Now, before we dive in, let's ground ourselves. Place your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath. And breathe out. Check out Akari, who is amazing with breath work. So now that we are grounded, I'm feeling strong. I'm so excited to be here today. Let me see, where's my technique where I can see things. So if you're watching live, put a hashtag live. And if you're in the replay, put hashtag replay. We're going to be interacting on the chat. So very briefly, I'm Helen Gailey. Actually, I call myself Helen Christine Gailey because I know there's a Helen Gailey writer in the USA somewhere, and so I don't want to be confused. I live in Switzerland, in the heart of Europe. I am English and Spanish, and obviously I speak French. I am trilingual. Please reach out, say hello, connect, follow, whatever you do on social media, but I'm here. I'm always happy to meet new people. Now, type in the comments, where are you looking? Where are you coming from? Where are you? Introduce yourself. Say hello. Hello. I can see Jenny. I can see Tara. I can see all my team of the founders team. They're all there holding my hand, and I'm so grateful for you. Becky, Betty, Bex, my goodness. Stacy, thank you all for being there and being part of this team and motivating us to create this together. So what am I going to talk about? Well, I'm going to talk about the power of shift. What if the moment you've been waiting for has already happened? You see, your shift isn't about what's happened to you. It's about how you choose to respond to things that arrive at you. Let's put my hand on my heart and say, how many of you have ever said, one day I will be ready? I'm going to start my dream business. I'm going to speak on stage. I'm going to change my life. What if I told you that you don't need more time? You don't need more training. You just need to shift in perspective. So if you ever thought, I need to wait until I'm ready, you start typing, I'm ready now. Hashtag ready now in the chat. Type it down. Ready now. Let me explain. We all think that one day a big aha moment will arrive. You know, that one that finally makes you sense of everything, that clears all the self-doubt, makes everything so easy. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Spoiler, that moment doesn't come. Instead, what happens? Life can hit you in the face. And it certainly did for me. Now imagine this. You're sitting in your home, your dream home. You have a beautiful chalet. You have a country house. You have beautiful kids, beautiful cars. Everything is wonderful. You've got a fabulous business that you've built and you've grown, and teams that respect you and love you. And suddenly, it's all gone. Let me take you back a few years. I had sold my first business in Paris, a great success. We decided as a family to leave Paris and come to live closer to the Alps where we had a chalet. And I used that beautiful chalet as collateral to buy another company. It wasn't just playing entrepreneurship. It was a company that had staff, it had clients, had very prestigious clients actually, the state of Geneva, the Hospital of Geneva. And this was my new baby. And we were in a new country. And although we spoke the language, because I speak fluent French, And Geneva is the French-speaking side of Germany. Switzerland is not France, where I'd been living for 20 years. And then, boom, the company did not survive the management changeover, and it fell down like a stack of cards. In fact, what fell down was the financial setup. You see, we bought it in 2008, 2009. That's when the markets dropped. The Swiss franc was 155, suddenly became under a euro, the change. The financial collapse was all estranged to my business. However, it affected it all. Now, I'm not going to go into the details. I've made a mistake. It's all very easy, and we're always more intelligent afterwards. And that will be another story to tell. But yes, everything collapsed. Dun, 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 dun. And it became personal. How could I let this happen? Maybe I was never cut out. I mean, I came from perfumes. What was Helen doing managing an IT company? What will people think? What did people think? And I had so many comments. Hate comments. Oh, she's useless. Oh, she's not this, she's not that. Geneva's very small. And reputations, especially bad ones, they go round. Have you ever felt like the rug was ripped out from under you? I lost more than just money. I lost a whole sense of who I was. You know what I mean? It went from bad to worse because not only did we lose our homes, we lost banks, I got debts. It shook the boat. My children suffered. And my relationship with my husband after 32 years, the man of my life, the father of my 3 kids, he couldn't handle this challenge and he walked away. Type felt this, if you can relate. I know Stacy, for example, she had the most terrible story when she lost her husband. She can relate. When you lose something, your world falls apart. So, what is one painful moment in your life that you can look back, yes, look back, that has taught you something powerful? Write it down. So I didn't say at the beginning, but I have these little cards. I love these little cards. And I love to write things down. Sometimes I'd never read them again. But you know, when you write things down, it actually downloads into your brain. Now, I sometimes coach entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, and the teenagers, they're like, oh, I don't need to write it down. I was like, yes, you do. You need to write it down because when you write, it goes into your brain. It's like downloading data into the computer. You download data into your brain, okay? So write it down. What was one painful moment in your life that you look back and you say, God, that was powerful? Writing it down and looking at it, looking on the paper and saying, that is pain, allows you also to relate to it. But let me tell you about the shift. Because the shift doesn't come like an epiphany. There's no fireworks, no angels singing in the background. It comes at a quiet moment. Sitting alone in a walk. I am very much empowered when I go for walks. And sometimes you'll see some of my videos outside because the trees, the smell, the water brings me so much energy. But as I was feeling that I had failed everything, I asked myself, what if this isn't happening to me but for me? What if it's happening to me but for me? That was my shift. You see, I'd love to say that moment I'd asked the question that everything magically had fallen into place. Suddenly I knew what I was going to do and I could see things differently. But it's not the case. You know, we have this wonderful brain that keeps going on and on and on and on. And we say things to ourselves. But it did make me see something differently. I realized that I'd given failure a meaning. Oh, everything's beeping at the moment. Let's see if I can turn it off. Silence. I had given failure a meaning. I made it mean I was not good enough. I made it mean that I was destined to struggle and that I would always be having a hard time. I made it mean that I had lost everything and that I would never ever get it back again, that I'd never have a house and I'd never have beautiful cars and I'd never have beautiful handbags. Guess what? I don't need the handbags. I actually sold a lot of them during COVID. But the reality is what? It only meant one thing, that version of me had finished its chapter. The book had closed. And that's when I started rewriting my story. So the shift isn't about waiting. It's about creating. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about your shift. Because if you're watching this, there is a shift that is meant to make for you. It's a shift that you need to do. So let me introduce to you the 3 shifts framework. Now, if you've seen any of my videos about how to talk, we always know that you put things in 3 because it makes it more compelling, more convincing, and more, I don't know what I'm going to say the third one, but it definitely makes it more compounding. There you go. So the 3 key shifts that everything that when you're feeling stuck, you need to start looking at is own your story, accept and rewrite the past, embody your power, decide who you really want to become, and activate your future. Take bold and aligned actions that take you forward. So let's go into these a little bit more in detail. You see, you can't move forward if you're still fighting your past. Let me repeat that. You cannot move forward if you're still fighting your past. Grab your piece of paper. Write one thing down that you've been telling yourself about your past that's holding you back. Take a deep breath. And now I want you to rewrite it. For example, I failed at my business. No, you can rewrite it saying, I learned more in my experience than most people ever will. Another example, I always mess up opportunities. No. Write it back. Pencil it through and say, I take bold risks. Sometimes they lead to growth I never expected. Okay, so I'm going to do this with you because I'm part of this shift. My old story was I built a business. I poured my soul into it and then I lost it all. I failed. Maybe I should never have done it. Maybe I wasn't good enough to be an entrepreneur. That's my old story. My new story, that business wasn't Helen's identity. It was a chapter. And losing it was not a failure. Losing it was the greatest training ground. I learned so much more in that experience than people can learn in a lifetime. You can call me, I can explain, and I can help you. Wow, let's reflect. Just saying that out aloud feels different. Try it for yourself. Write that one sentence about your past and see how it shifts you. So come on, stand up. It's good to be standing up, all right? Gives us energy. Stand up and say aloud, I am powerful, I am learning, and I am ready. Shoulders back. I want you to say it. You can type it in the chat, but I want you to say it out aloud. I am powerful. I am learning. I'm ready. All right, are you ready? Is the shift? Are you starting to feel how things change? That is the shift. It starts changing everything. So we're going to go to the second shift, is embodying your power. This one's a tricky one because we love to wait for confidence to come up and show up before we take action. Hi, Helen, I'm going to make you confident. But you see, confidence doesn't come up before the action. It comes because you take the action, because you stand in front of this camera and you talk, because you don't feel like a leader and then start leading. You start leading and then you embody the leadership. You feel like a leader. Is that sinking in? Let me say it again. Confidence does not come before action. It comes because of action. So let's apply it to Helen, because I'm doing the same exercise as you. We're on the same journey. Did you know that? I used to think that I had to be perfect to lead, perfectly dressed, perfectly slim, perfectly in all ideas of the business, that I need to have everything figured out. But let's be honest, I don't know everything. Neither do you. So my old identity, I'm someone who tries things, I never focus, my ADHD brain goes off on different ideas, I jump from one to another, I should be more structured, I should be more organized, I need to have this, I need to have that. Stop. Basta. My new identity, I'm a visionary leader. Thanks for my human design. Somebody will be talking about that during this week. But I am a visionary leader. I thrive with big ideas and fast action. I don't fit into a box. I'm not this or that. I don't fit into any box because I'm Helen and I like to break the mold. I like to be different. So, what identity have you been clinging on that no longer serves you? And who do you choose to be instead? Now write it down. If you were already the person who had made the next big shift, how would you act today? I'm going to say close your eyes for a moment. Picture the version of you who has already made that shift. Have you closed them? Good. Now breathe. What does that version look like? How do they walk? How do they speak? How do they handle a situation with lots of people around them? Would that person hesitate? Would that person overthink? No. She's not doubting herself. He's not doubting himself. You would be stepping into your day with certainty. Now, open your eyes. Yes, that's right. Stand up. Yes, you're allowed to stand up and say it out aloud. Shoulders back. Who is that person? That person is you. That person already exists within you. Bring them out. Let them exist. Show who you really are and be proud of your differences. Be proud of that person. That's the shift. Okay, so we're going to come to the third, which is activate your future. This is where the magic happens. I wish I had a magic wand. Because shifts don't happen in our mind. They happen when we take action and we're in motion. If you want to shift your life, your business, your confidence, you have to do something. You have to do that uncomfortable action. Take that speech. Do that presentation. Stand up in front of a camera. Hold your phone. Put yourself out there. And what I'm going to ask you is, why don't you try one bold thing just today? Now, whatever the time is you're watching this, morning, afternoon, depending where you are in the world, do one little thing. Take out that paper. Not tomorrow, today. Write it down. Share it with everybody. Share what you're going to do. It could be something small. You're going to send an email. You're going to make that call because perhaps you're hesitating to make a call for a new business. You've got to go out there. You've got to call the client. Maybe you're going to post your offer. Or it could be something big. deciding to step into the leader you know you are. Whatever it is, I want you to write it down. Okay. You writing it down? You with us? So I'm not going to let myself off the hook. I'm also going to do the work. I also hesitate before putting myself out there. I overthink. My goodness, I think and I think and I think. One of those brains that never stops. I need to do my sport because my sport helps my brain, gives me the dopamine. But I also need to take some actions. So I'm going to make a commitment, not just in this talk, but with all of you that are going to be following me and encouraging me to continue this journey together, like all of us. Like I will encourage you and I will help you with your commitment. I'm going to commit to sharing my stories at least once a week. I don't want to say every single day, but at least once a week on YouTube or TikTok or both. And I'm going to commit to this so that every day I am taking those little steps. I will do my sport and I will commit to doing my story once a week on these platforms. What actions are you going to take? Do you want to drop it in the chat? Tell me. Put it in the chat. Commit to it. Type hashtag my shift, commit to posting a video once a week. Hashtag my shift, I commit to doing 20 minutes of sport every morning. Hashtag my shift, I commit to drinking a glass of water before I take my first coffee. Whatever you're going to commit to, write it down. Put it up on a board. Pin it up so you can see it. You know, maybe you have a motivational board. Put it up there. Write down your ideas. I put, let's rock the stages together. Whatever you commit to it. My shift. So do I leave you here? Silence? No, let's stop. Now we've spent this time thinking and writing and even feeling our emotions. Maybe emotions that you weren't expecting. Now, I still have a heart flutter for my husband. We're not divorced yet. He's going through his shit, as they say. Excuse my French. Yeah, there are emotions. But let's take a deep breath. In and out. I want you to do something powerful. I want you to close your eyes if you can. Please, if you're driving, don't. I know Becky's always driving when she's doing her video, so don't close your eyes if you're listening to this, okay, and you're driving. But if you can, stop the car, close your eyes, and picture yourself exactly as you are right now. Not that version that's fixed or transformed, just you, here today. Maybe you're holding a pen. Maybe you're sitting down listening. You showed up. That's so cool. You're here. Now I want you to imagine something. In front of you is a door. It's a little bit open. Just a little bit. And on the other side of that door is the version of you that has made the shift. This new version, the one that didn't wait for permission. They didn't keep overthinking. They didn't let fear win. They stepped through. They are standing there and they're looking at you. They can see you. You can feel them. Ask yourself one thing. What would it take for me to step through that door? Envision the door. Mine is red. I love red. I want you to take one hand and place it on your chest. Feel your heart. Feel your breath. You are alive. It's a miracle. It means your story is still being written. You have the power. You can decide. You have time and you have a choice right now, right here. Will you step through that door? Or will you wait behind the door for a sign? Nobody's going to pull you through that door. It's your decision. There will never be a perfect time, but there will always be this time. So I wanted to hear it from you. Call to action. Comment below. What is your shift? What is the one thing that you are going to commit to do today? Is it listen to the other videos? Is it make that call? Do something. The moment is right now and is your shift. You don't need another year of overthinking. You don't need to wait for permission. You just need to decide. Now imagine that you look at yourself in 10 years' time and you are still in the same position. Because this has happened to me. I have been waiting for my ex to give me permission, for my children, for being credible. I have everything that it can allow me to shift and to move forward. I need to make the decision. I need to commit. And I'm really excited because this shift, for me, is my way of not only helping others, but it's also helping myself. So I want to hear from you. What is the shift that you are making today? Does this message resonate? Are you ready for something bigger? Own your story. I fucked up. I bought a terrible company. I lost my fortune. That story has changed now. I learned. I'm actually a nicer person because when I had a lot of money, I all went to my head and I was so la-di-da. Now I am authentic. Now I'm Helen with her humor and her creativity because lacking means has given me so much more creativity. So my story is I've learnt my bloody hard lesson, as we would say in British English. I've heard and learnt so much. I embody my power because I've got so much to give to all of you. I love storytelling. I've got so many stories to share. And I'm going to activate my future because I'm going to commit to doing something once a week. Maybe I'll do more, but I'm committing to once. Hold me accountable. Now, if this message has resonated with you, I hope that you have now started to see the shift, writing it down, working it out. So I've given you a worksheet that you can download. I think it's on the drive somewhere. There's a link in the description. Go through this exercise again. Take the time. We have a little bit of time before the next video, the next live. Don't take another year. Commit. Let's go. Let's move. You just decide it. What is the shift that you're going to make? Write it down. Because this is just the beginning. And now we're going to see the other shifts, the other communication, the other tools, the other ladies. Everybody has such amazing stories to share. Thank you so much for being with me today. Now, I haven't given you an hour. I've given you less, but you've got so much to think about, to take the time to go through it, listen again, Do the exercises, write them down, type them up, stick them up, put them in front of you, put them at the back of the door of the toilet. I always think that's a great place. When I wanted my kids to remember their maths, I would put the maths tables behind the door of the toilet and they would sit there and they'd be able to see the numbers. So put your commitment somewhere where you go every single day and you're going to see it slap in the face. Write it in the mirror, your makeup mirror. You open the makeup cupboard and there it is. What are you committing? And share it with all of us. Thank you so much for this moment. I've enjoyed myself chatting with you and I look forward to the rest, and I will see you, I don't know what day it is, but the next talk will be how we're going to embody and take this further with our storytelling. Love you all. I'm just taking a time to look at me, looking at you, and to say thank you. Thank you for this moment because it brings me a lot of joy to share my passion with you guys. So remember, the shift, you're making it today, and this is just the beginning.